I have 3 different Macs that I'm going to run a performance test by rendering a video to see how fast each one can complete the task. So I have the latest generation Mac Mini, and this is the absolute base version with the M4 chip. And then I have a pretty upgraded last generation Mac Mini with the M2 Pro chip, and I have the latest generation Mac Studio that's pretty upgraded with the M4 Max chip. So with the Mac Mini, I really like its shape and size. However, the one thing that I'm not a fan of is they got rid of all USB-A ports. And I understand you can use an adapter USB-C to USB-A, but those things usually take up a little bit of space, and these things are kind of close to each other. So there's not a whole lot of options for that, but I do really appreciate the size. So that is kind of one drawback, but not a massive difference, but it would be nice if it did support that. So we got USB-Cs, we have the auxiliary, and we have some more USB-C, Thunderbolts and stuff, HDMI. We have the gigabit, even though it can go up to 10 gig if you get that part. But again, this is the base version. We got the power, and we got the power on the bottom. Now, I think the reason they put the power on the bottom is because these Macs, they're usually in sleep mode. I typically don't shut these things off. I just let them run, and then they go to sleep mode, and then it's like pretty much almost an instant wake up. So this is the last generation Mac Mini, and it is thinner than the newest one. However, it does take up a lot more space. So it's exactly the same size as the Mac Studio, except the Mac Studio is obviously a lot thicker than this. So the good thing about this Mac is you actually have the USB-A ports, and obviously you got the USB-C Thunderbolts, and this one is a 10 gig Ethernet, you know, HDMI and all that other stuff. And then the Mac Studio is the best of the bunch because you get this fantastic SD card slot, which is very, very useful if you're editing videos. So again, you got the USB-Cs and stuff, and you also have the USB-As, which is really, really nice. Auxiliary, you know, HDMI. And the Mac Studios come by default with a 10 gig Ethernet, so you don't even actually have to upgrade that, which is good. And a lot more vents as well. So let's get to rendering. We're going to start with M4 Max. We got 64 gigabytes of unified memory. We got 40 cores on the GPU. The source files are here on the desktop. These are all the files. And I'm basically going to open up DaVinci Resolve, which is my editor. And we're going to open up the same project. And we'll do H.264. And then we'll do M4 Max. And these are the settings. And as you guys could see, there's nothing missing from here, like everything is here. But I have removed some projects from the file, so it might complain that, oh, it's missing some files, but not to worry. So add to render queue, one or more clips have missing or offline source frames, that's fine. We're going to click add. Alright, now we're on the older Mac Mini with the M2 Pro chip, got 32 gigabytes of unified memory and 19 cores on the GPU. And the encoders can also make a difference as well, just as a heads up. The source files are all here. And if I go to DaVinci Resolve, open that up. So same exact version, same exact everything, opening up the project. And if I go to here and I just right click reveal in Finder, you could see it's on the desktop right here. Okay. Alright, so now, again, no files are missing or anything like that, but just to show you guys, everything's green. And I'm going to close this and we're going to redo it again. H.264, M2 Pro. It's going on the desktop. Everything else is on default. Add to render queue. It's going to give me the same. Now we're on the Mac Mini with the M4 chip, 16 gigabytes of unified memory and 10 cores on the GPU. Source files are here. So the reason why I'm not running it off the network, which I typically would, is because this Mac Mini has a gigabit Ethernet port, so that would be its bottleneck. So I don't want to do that basically. Okay, on this computer it's called main, so let's do a save. Let's change it to just M4. Everything else is the same. Add to render queue, going to give us the same thing right here, and we're going to click render all. So I'm pretty sure the M4 Max is going to be the fastest, but I'm genuinely curious to know if the new M4 chip will be faster than the M2 Pro chip. So that one is going to be a bit of a guess. I'm assuming the M2 Pro chip will be faster, but we'll go ahead and see, just because the M2 Pro chip has more GPU cores versus this. And yeah, let's see what happens. To summarize, M4 Max came out on top, no surprise there. M2 Pro also beat the M4, but there was less of a gap there, and which is very impressive because the M2 Pro, I paid a good amount. I forget exactly how much I paid for the M2 Pro chip version, but it was, I don't know, $1,700, $1,800, $1,900, something like that. I can't remember exactly what it was because it's been a couple years. But considering that the base Mac Mini version is not too far behind for a retail price of $600, I mean, that's pretty impressive. So that's what I got out of this video. So basically, if you need something more powerful, if you're rendering, and I mean, different layers on different renders can, you know, the time difference can, you know, even increase. So that usually the harder the project it is to render, the more layers, the more things that are on there, the difference will be even greater. The easier it is to render if you're just doing basic cuts, the difference is going to be even smaller between these. So basically, if you need something more powerful, M4 Max or something even more powerful than that. If you're just a casual user, you render once in a while, you play a game once in a while, and just for normal usage like browsing the web, just documents, things like that, M4 Mac Mini base version is honestly phenomenal. I am genuinely very impressed that literally for $600. So basically the Mac Studio was over $3,000 and this is $600, and I'm not including tax or whatever right now, but basically if I include tax it's going to be even a bigger difference. But essentially you're getting on this specific video, with the Mac Studio you're getting slightly over 2x performance for 5x the price. So something to keep in mind. So, and again, that's not telling the whole story, because if you're doing a lot more power intensive, CPU intensive, GPU intensive tasks, then it will be worth it. If you're gaming a lot more, it will be worth it. But for the casual user, new Mac Mini is very, very awesome. For someone like me that renders, edits a lot of videos and things like that, the Mac Studio is worth the extra price for me. But yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comment sections below. And as always, smash that subscribe button. I'll catch you guys in the next one.